Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Humza Yousaf is nothing if he's not optimistic. He's made a claim today, a grand claim, that the Greens will survive the SNP Conference. He reckons that the conference will go ahead, that the SNP Conference will go ahead. They may well raise the subject of the Greens and their alliance at the Butte House Agreement, but he says that the conference will agree to continue the deal and that the Greens will come out at the end of the conference and they'll still be in place. This is what he's reckoning. I think he's very, very optimistic because the mood of the party is not where he thinks it is. Certainly all the backbenchers have had enough. A lot even of his ministers may well have had enough. And there's many, many party members will have had enough. Now he's going to claim, oh, there was 95% vote in favour. That was then. He's using that argument. Oh, they had a vote then, and that's the result now. That's not the argument they used when they had the vote at the referendum. Oh no, things have changed. We need another vote. Well, things have changed again, and we need another vote. And I think this time it will actually throw the Greens out. And I think this level of optimism is the symbol of a fool. However, I think he actually needs to be more worried about whether he will survive conference rather than the Greens, because that is by no means a certainty either. But we'll take a look at this thing and see what the hell is going on. Here goes. So Yousaf absolutely confident the Greens deal will survive SNP Conference. When you get someone who's absolutely confident, you get someone who doesn't, necessarily read the room very well. I don't think he understands what is happening out there in the greater world. Well, that's just generally. I'm on about the Greens here, but generally he hasn't got a clue, has he? But look, he's found something he's good at. We've finally found the level. Bit of finger painting. Now, if he could just do that all day, the world would be a better place, wouldn't it? Just turns up, just give him some daubs, bit of paint, bit of paper, daddy's old shirt, and then just send him on his way till, lunchtime, and then he can have some custard or something of his level. We've finally found something that suits him and his intellectual capability. Anyway, First Minister Humza Yousaf remains confident SNP members would back the party's cooperation deal with the Scottish Greens and its conference if a vote was called. This is because he, of course, is incredibly stupid and naive. The SNP leader has been a steadfast defender of the deal. Well, only because he's tied himself so amazingly tightly to it. He knows if it breaks, so does he. And this brought the Greens co-leaders into government and shored up the pro-independence majority in Holyrood, which may be pro-independence majority, but it's not a pro-common sense majority, is it? The arrangement allows the party to differ on certain policy aspects, but yet has not, but brought forward shared commitments like the highly protected marine areas, a fail, which was sent back to the drawing board after an outcry by fishing communities. And also the gender bill, fail, well, basically everything was a fail. Let's end oil and gas, fail, you name it, they failed. DRS, don't get me started. Anyway, some senior figures within the SNP, most vocally former Minister Fergus Ewing, and others within the Scottish independence movement widely, have criticised the agreement. Kate Forbes is so against it as well. And many others. Even Beryl down in Westminster isn't sort of singing off the same hymn sheet, and that's quite telling as well. Mr Yousaf has insisted that the SNP continues to support the Butte House Agreement with the rival party, pointing to his vocal backing of the arrangement during the SNP leadership contest. And yes, definitely a rival party, because at Rutherglen, not only have you got the SNP standing, you've also got the Greens standing, splitting that vote, which is truly excellent to behold. And if they both lose, and let's just say that the SNP manages somehow to only lose by a few votes, and the Green vote would have been enough had the Greens not stood to have given the SNP victory, that'll be taken as an act of vandalism, really, isn't it? Anyway, speaking on a visit to Glasgow's Riverside Museum, the First Minister said, "We've already had a vote," and there we go. I say, we've already had a vote. 95% of our membership backed it. That was then. Things have changed. Your very same argument for having Indy Ref 2. Said, we've just had a leadership election, of course, in which the Green Deal was a central issue, and I'm pleased that I was elected as the SNP leader. Of course you're pleased. Mr Yousaf, who spent the summer campaigning in different parts of the country, said he's knocked a lot of doors, and rarely has the deal between the two parties been brought up, so it has been brought up. Asked if he believes his argument would be backed by the membership, he said yes, absolutely. Oh dear sweet summer child, you haven't got a clue, have you? Mr Ewing has been the loudest voice against the deal, describing the Greens as wine bar revolutionaries and arguing that Scottish Government policy has been pulled so far to the left by the agreement, signed, of course, under Nicola Sturgeon. Many of the policies under fire, such as the DRS, have been SNP commitments for many years. Both candidates who faced Mr Yousaf in the recent leadership contest were also sceptical of the pairing, with the former Finance Secretary Kate Forbes saying recently the party should check in with members on the deal, and if they checked in with the members on the deal, there is only one way that is going, and we know which way it's going. The writing's on the wall. Even Humza Yousaf knows that, but he can't say it because he, as I say, has tied himself to it. His leadership is keyed and locked in on having the Greens there, and if the Greens go, he has to as well. So if the SNP are looking to perhaps change leadership and there's a vote on the Greens, this could perhaps be the key moment where they could ditch Humza Yousaf as well. So I wouldn't, if I was Humza Yousaf, hold my breath should there be any kind of vote at conference in October. Could be the end. Could be very, very much the end. Anyway, meanwhile, the party's new chief executive took up the post on Monday. Murray Foot was previously the SNP's head of communications and chief liar, although he lieth because he was lieth too. I do believe that he gave the wrong numbers, but I honestly believe, and I'm not going to be there, I may be wrong, but I do feel that in this case Murray Foot was given the wrong numbers by Peter Murrell, and he quoted them, and I think ultimately it is Murrell's fault if he's quoted the wrong numbers because that's what he was given. I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Doesn't mean I benefit on the doubt on anything else, but I believe that that is the case. Doesn't mean he's getting a rough ride. He is still an arse. Anyway, Murray Foot was previously the SNP's head of communications before he quit earlier this year, as we mentioned about the figures. So there we are. Humza Yousaf, the world's most naive idiot, who's an expert on finger painting, seriously believes that the Greens will remain in power if there's a vote put to conference. I think he has much to learn. No, hang on, what we're talking about. Of course he's got much to learn. Man's an idiot. But I think he's got much to learn on this particular subject. Anyway, I'm going to round off there, and I'm going to come up, and then we'll just round off this video and tell Humza Yousaf to go pay attention to what's happening. Coming up. Now, I've got to say, come the conference, if this issue is raised, there's by no means certain that it is, but if it is raised and it does go to a vote of the members, I think the members will vote to get rid of the Butte House Agreement. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a lot closer than I'm not suggesting it's a foregone conclusion, but I think it'll be close. But it certainly won't be anywhere near 95%. Those days are gone. It will be. If it's anything to save, it'll be 1 or 2%. It'll be a sort of 52-48. It's going to be that. I do suspect it will be the other way. I do think they'll go. And at that point, of course, Humza Yousaf's position is virtually untenable. He's backed this the whole way. He's put his career on it. And so, he can go off and he can depart the field along with Jeffrey and the Leprechaun. That'll be the three of them gone. Well, I wouldn't say gone. They'll still be, in Parliament, but they won't be in any position of power, thank heavens. And that'd do some good, wouldn't it? It'd do some good. It'll temper the fortune of the party. Anyway, I enjoyed that. I enjoy seeing idiots make fools of themselves. And of course, we have learnt one thing today. If nothing else, this video has taught us one thing. It's that Humza Yousaf has found the one thing he is good at. The one thing he excels at. Finger painting. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, do please hit that subscribe button. It's very important. It widens the base. It gets the truth out there. So do please hit it. And of course, like the video. That sends the video wide. Until next time, stay safe, stay well, and here's hoping that the vote does come and that the Greens are finally out. Bye.